That's right. It's time for Catching Up with Carley, presented by Meijer. And today I'm joined by Detroit Tigers Clubhouse manager, Jim Schmakel. How's it going, Jim?
It's busy, but it's going good.
Absolutely. I know you have one of the busiest jobs on the team. What does your day-to-day look like right now?
It's really like a normal season. A big part of our operation is food because the
Okay.
players are here so long, all day long. We have 3 meals for them, and we have a real neat app where the players actually can order their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner for day games on their phone in the morning or even the night before. And they can order their food all day long on this app, and it shoots into the kitchen and it shoots into the kitchen upstairs, and they can basically get, I think, pretty much anything you could want. And that's a big part. When we get here, we start working on that the minute we arrive at the stadium. In addition to that, there's usually a change once or twice a week in terms of personnel. Dave McKay got sent out to the Toledo taxi squad, and then they brought Anthony Castro back. So we sort of have to switch all the jerseys around and the jackets, make sure the shoes are there anytime there's a change. And then we're also in charge of maintenance in the clubhouse in terms of like vacuuming, garbage, kitchen, keeping it healthy and clean, the stairwell down to and from the dugout. So the guys not only that work for me help with the food, they're also doing bat boy duty. A couple of the guys are in the stands. There's nobody in the stands, so they're retrieving baseballs that might go in the stands during batting practice and during the game. And like I said before, go ahead.
So I'm a little jealous about the food, but tell us more about the preparation for games and batting practices.
Well, like today, the players were told to come in at 3:30 because it's supposed to rain. I have no idea if it rained or didn't rain. But each day that we have a home 7 o'clock game, there's batting at 4 o'clock. Our bat boy and 2 of the guys that are helping on the field come in, and they have to prepare like coolers of water, coolers of Gatorade, and with the virus, they have to wear gloves, of course, a mask. I have my mask in case anybody's asking. But they set the dugout up, and we have to set the coolers up so that the coolers are open, so that not everybody's not touching the coolers. They don't want a lot of different touches by each player's hands on things like the cooler. Helmets are cleaned every night. Like before the first game, we have a spray we spray on the helmets, and the bat boy and his guys help do that before they put them into their slots in the dugout. And then after they hit, he has a spray bottle of the bat boy where he sprays the helmet, puts it back in the slot. And when anybody uses something and they go to the batting cage, he's supposed to spray it down with this disinfectant. That's quite a difference, of course, from last year. We never did that. The bat boy puts two big ball bags of baseballs for batting practice out there. I prepare a smaller, what we call pitcher's bag for the bullpen catchers to take to the bullpen so that they can use what we call rubbed baseballs. Baseballs have to be rubbed. Brand new baseballs are rubbed with Delaware River mud. And we prepare for the game 108 for the umpires, and then 36 for the bullpen. And then we have backup of about 72 to 84 baseballs in case the players start fouling a lot of balls off or for whatever reason. And it's sort of crazy because the first night we used 167 balls, and then yesterday we used 102. So we must have fouled a lot of baseballs off that first night. Of course, there were a lot of runs scored. It was 20 runs were scored between the two teams. And when the game starts, the umpire room guy, who happens to be my son, Brian, he runs the balls down to the umpire room. Mark Cave, Brian, and myself, we attend to the umpires' needs. They are also on the Red Card app, so they can order pregame food and postgame food, and that's all part of today's age with the virus. Each each player that orders something, each umpire that orders something, it comes in a plastic container, just like if you went to, say, Maggiano's and you ordered something to go, they would give you your food in a plastic container.
Wow, very jealous about
I
that
know
one.
I'm emphasizing the food, but get me back on track. Game
Are you
time.
hungry?
Pardon me?
I said, are you hungry? You go
No,
back.
not at all. I can't eat anything after smelling the food. It's really good food, but when you're around it, you can't eat it. It's just
Oh,
there.
geez. You've been with the Tigers for over 40 years now, and I know this question is going to be hard, but do you have one particular memory over your career that stands out as your favorite?
Well, when we won the World Series in '84, that was right about the time they started going to the White House, being invited to go to the White House, and we didn't get invited because it was like prior to when that started happening. In '86, Darrell Evans came to me and he said, because teams were going to the White House to shake hands with the president, he said, "Anyway, you think we can get an invite to the White House?" And I said, "I'd try to check." Ernie Harwell, who we all love and miss, suggested I call a gentleman by the name of Dale Petrosky, a native Detroiter, Tiger fan, that was actually like the traveling secretary for Ronald Reagan in Washington at that time. He eventually was president of the Baseball Hall of Fame too. And I haven't seen Dale in a few years, but he helped connect us with the White House. And I was able to go to the White House and have lunch in the just outside the Oval Office. It was really neat. And
Wow.
that stands out above everything. Besides the championship in '84, just as on a personal note, that was really neat and a fun thing to do.
Which player has had the most peculiar asks? So maybe they just want like green M&Ms, or if they want something that you were like, oh, that's strange.
The most persnickety guy was Todd Jones, because he would it wasn't what he asked for. He just loved throwing stuff in the stands, and he loved throwing candy bars in the stands and gum and seeds. And I was afraid some people would get hurt by the projectiles, but he just loved it. That was just his character. Besides that, no, I can't right off the top of my head think of something. Something might come to me before we finish though. But I just remember Todd Jones' antics in the bullpen.
That's a good one. Okay, who has the messiest locker and who has the cleanest?
I would say the cleanest. There's a couple guys over my entire career. Two guys. Alan Trammell didn't even want you touching anything in his locker. He wanted his shoes in a certain spot, and he didn't want. That was his personality. He didn't want anybody doing something for him that he could do. And I'm sure I could name a couple more sloppy guys if I thought hard enough. I won't mention Jamer Candelario. No, he's got stuff everywhere. Oh, got another one. Nico. Nico's got stuff everywhere too. And he gets stuff every day.
Clean up after yourselves.
So, yeah, well, again, in this virus age, the clubhouse guys are supposed to have gloves on, and we ask the guys to please be as neat and organized as possible because we're not supposed to touch everything. And so I spend sometimes the first half hour I'm here just going around and taking extra stuff out of the guys' lockers and putting it back in our storage room.
Good to know. This is funny to see the other side of the guys that fans don't see, but you do. All right. And I know this season we've been talking about, it's been a little different with the pandemic. How difficult and what was it like moving everything from Lakeland to Detroit and starting a camp?
Well, first of all, my wife Linda and I stayed in Lakeland when the whole thing blew up. Everybody went home. And I think I was actually told they wanted everybody going home, and I just felt safer down there. And and all my work stuff was down there because we left everything because we were supposed to go back to Lakeland. So I literally went in every day, and over the years I've accumulated a lot of stuff. I got it reorganized. I'm very happy about that. And in fact, I got the phone rang. It was Alan Trammell, and he wanted to know if I knew what was going on. And I said, "Well, it sounds like we're coming to Lakeland." And the rumors are it might be as early as Friday or Saturday. They're going to ask people to show up. And he was happy to hear that we might get started. And literally within an hour, I got a note that I need to get a hold of Al Avila and John Westhoff, David Chad, and a couple other people. There might be a phone call about what we're doing. And when I got on that phone call, Al said, we're going to start in Detroit. Now we're talking Tuesday, whatever it was. It went from we're starting in Lakeland because everything was set ready to go in Lakeland. All the jerseys, all the players' equipment were in all their lockers, every one of them. We hadn't changed anything. And I said, when do you want us back? And he goes, well, first workout on July 3rd. And I start counting. I'm going, oh my God, that's like 8 days away. And still had to get a truck down there. It turned out we got 3 moving trucks. I had nobody to help load the trucks. And I Mark Kay's my assistant, and I got him, Craig Shepard, to come down with Dan Ross, who works on the visiting side. Got them to fly down on Wednesday, late in the afternoon, to start packing everything for the truck that was going to be there Thursday. And then there was another truck going to be there Friday. And fortunately for me, there are people in Lakeland were outstanding. I called Ron Myers, longtime friend who runs the Lakeland Ball Club in the area, the whole Tiger Town complex. And I said, any of your people available? Because they weren't even coming into work. I hadn't seen anybody.
Right.
They were doing their work at home. And he said, well, I'll call a few people, but a lot of them are nervous about the virus. So he says, if they can, I'm sure they will, but don't, you can't count on it. Every one of them showed up 8 o'clock the next morning. Because if anybody's moved out of a house, you know how tough that is. But we had to move this whole building. And so we got the first truck packed Thursday, the second truck packed Friday. The 4 of us flew home, Mark, Dan, Craig, and I. We had to take another saliva test on Sunday. The minute you take the saliva test, you have to sit out for 2 days. You can't go into work. You have to stay away. So we couldn't even go in and unpack the trucks. We got in Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., with Friday being the workout at 7:30 in the morning. And we went, uh-oh, how are we going to get this done? We had to do the spacing. We had to space the lockers out. I had to start on the food. We'd never had this app before. I always just supplied the food. I had caterers come in. Had a lot of different things to get done. But again, with the help of my clubhouse men that worked up here, my staff that was in Lakeland all showed up, came in and worked. People in the front office in Detroit helped out. Got everything unpacked, everything ready to go by 11 o'clock Thursday night. It was incredible. That's long story, but that's how it unfolded.
That's how it happened. And it just goes to show how great of a guy you are, that many people would drop anything to come help you. Jim, your work behind the scenes does not go unnoticed. It's been so great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me on Catching Up with Carley, presented by Meijer.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me a little break.
Love it. Go out there. You got a gang tonight. I'm really excited to see you sometime soon, hopefully at the ballpark.